Good morning everybody, thanks for joining me again. Well, you join me on a glorious morning on Dartmoor. The mist is just rolling slowly over the moors, down into the valleys. The sun has just come up and I'm going to see what photographs I can get here and then wander down to the river, through the woodland, and see what shots I can get with this 200 to 600mm lens. But before I do that, let's just have a look at this lovely scene. So I'm just making my way down to the edge of the wood. Lots of songbirds. So time to be a little bit quiet and see what I can find. Well, as you can see, this is a lovely piece of woodland. The sun's now just coming through the trees. There's lots of interest in these mossy trees and boulders, and lots of bird life, as hopefully you can hear. So I've been here before, as some of you may recognise. Taken lots of different shots from here, mostly landscapes and photos of the river. But today I really want to concentrate on using the 200 to 600mm Sony lens. And I might take some long shots of the trees and the hillsides. But really I want to see what I can do to capture some good wildlife images. And that's going to mean slowing it down a bit and keeping quiet, and let's see what I can find. Well, I found a nice little spot to sit. Nice convenient boulder right by this gnarly little birch tree. And I'm hoping if I sit here quietly, I'll start to not be noticed because I'm next to the tree. Bought myself a seat pad to sit on, so this time hopefully I'll be comfortable and I can sit here for some time and just see what's going on. Got the camera already set up on the tripod, and because I'm on a hillside I should be at eye level with lots of the birds in the trees in front of me, and also there's lots of fallen dead trees here, lots of places where birds could perch. So I'm hoping if I sit quietly enough I might be lucky. While I'm sitting here waiting for the birds, I have started to take a few shots of these lovely branches and leaves, all backlit with the sun. Some lovely compositions with the dark moorland hillside behind. Let me show you. That's the shot I've got lined up just now. Just really like that collection of branches, how they snake round. Let's just let you see the viewfinder. So I'm bracketing this shot. F11, 200th of a second, auto ISO. And as I said, I'm bracketing the shot. One stop above, one stop under. That'll make sure I get plenty of detail in both the leaves and the shadow of the branches. But to be honest, quite like it how it is, all the silhouette dark branches. Let's try find a few more of those while I'm sat here. I think I found another one which I might make into a vertical shot. Don't know if you can see it here, but there's a nice snaking branch going up, trunk shall I say. Might look better as a vertical. Let's try that, shall we? I can change the camera quite easily just by unscrewing the collar and then turning the camera around. Yeah, that looks much better. Let's take a shot of that. I think let's just focus. I've got back button focusing on. And there we go. Let's see what that looks like. So, hope you can see the camera. I've moved slightly because there was very little activity where I was. It's quite dark, and although I could hear lots of birds, none were coming into that clearing in front of me. So I could see there was a lot more activity along here, especially this tree just over here. So I've moved in as quietly as I possibly can. And again sit for a while and see what happens. Lots of cuckoos around at the moment, and I think I made a bit of a mistake by moving to photograph one, which I missed ultimately, being chased off by obviously some parent birds. But I'm back to the same spot now. Seen a squirrel and a robin, that's all. But the squirrel came quite close. It does prove I'm in a good spot and sitting still enough. So I need to be patient for a bit more time. Got the camera set to about 500th of a second. F6.3 auto ISO. And got the shutter on silent. And I've got autofocus on at the moment, although I have been using manual as well. I can quickly flick between those on the lens. Although it's a sunny day, it's still quite chilly up here on the moor. And also this jacket's helping protect me from the mosquitoes. Midges are quite nasty here. Well, so far I've had very little luck, but it's been really nice sitting just quietly and watching the wildlife. So I'm now going to move down to the river and see if there's any wagtails, dippers, and not so long ago I saw an otter down here, so who knows. Is my luck going to improve? I doubt it, but it'll still be nice. So my luck has changed. The dipper I've been trying to film for some time is right in front of me. I've already got some shots and some good films, so I'm just gonna again sit still, see what happens. The water level on the river is a lot lower than the last time I was here. The dipper's just hiding behind the rock at the moment. Lots of insects and lots of things for him to eat, so he's in the middle of the river, so he's not going to be bothered by me. Let's just sit here and see what happens. Not sure if you can see that on the camera or not. The dipper's disappearing further upriver, but I'm sure it'll come back. So settings wise, I'm trying all sorts of things, all the way down to 1/100th of a second, up to 1,000th, which is affecting the ISO. So it won't be till I get back home and download the images will I really know how sharp they are. I think it's going to be a mixture. But I've been trying shallow depths of field like this, f6.3. And I've also been adjusting the exposure to underexpose by maybe a stop or two when the sun comes out. Well, the dip has gone further upstream, so I've come away from the river. I'm going to walk back up through the forest. A little overcast now, but I'm going to hold the camera rather than use a tripod and see if I can capture any wrens or other birds in the wood. Just before I go all the way back up into the woodland, I must take a picture of this tree across the river here. Lovely lime green leaves on it, standing out from the other trees. Couldn't resist this. I think I might make it into a square crop, and I did notice from here and then a little bit further along the riverbank there's some good views of it, so let's give that a go. I won't go in too close with the zoom. I've got my 16 to 55mm lens on, and I'm using a shutter speed just to get a good histogram. You see on the right hand side, not blowing out the highlights, plenty of detail in the shadows, 2-second timer, focus on the tree in the middle. Job's a good one. I've also got a circular polariser on, and that just, as you can see, just makes the tree pop a little bit more. Let's take one more shot just to be sure. I think if I zoom back to get that tree that's in on the left hand side as well, that might make a good composition too. Let's just move it round slightly. Focus in the middle. I might zoom in just slightly. Check the focus again. Nice. Well, I've moved just slightly upstream, as you can see. Got a different aspect, different composition of this tree. I think I actually prefer this one. I've moved the polarizer slightly just to get a bit more reflection on the water, not much. Focus in on the tree. There we go. Let's just move it again, make sure the leaves pop. What do I need to do with the shutter speed? 1/4 of a second, I think that's going to look good. Wasn't my intention to take a shot of the whole river, but it's such a nice scene I thought I'd try it. The sky's overcast and really uninteresting, it's just blown out really, so what I've done is actually increase the exposure a bit to make sure it's blown out, to make more of a feature of it. It might warm the shot up a little bit in post-processing, but let's give it a go. Let's change the aspect ratio to 16:9. That's quite nice. Try that again, and then maybe just zoomed in a little more, make a feature of the tree and the branch that's hanging down here. Might move it up a little bit. There we go. You can see the rocks seem to arc around with the river at the bottom here. Check focus. It's f11, so everything will be in focus. Okay. Well, what a lovely spot, hey? Really enjoyed this morning. Seen lots of wildlife. May not have got the greatest shots, but it's been really nice to be out in this peaceful woodland. Anyway, I think I'm going to end the video there. I've been walking downhill towards the river all morning, and now comes the payback, and I've got to walk all the way back uphill to the car. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like, hit that thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost anything, and it really helps promote the channel. Anyway, until next week, cheerio.